All right, everybody, and welcome to Chicago, Illinois, and the streets of Chicago here for ERC NASCAR. And welcome to 2026 here for Eternal Racing Championship. Taking a look at our info for tonight. The Grant Park 81 miles here tonight on this 2.12 mile track. We have 38 laps with 3 additional sets of tires, I believe. And then no fast repair. Stages are going to be laps 12 and 26. And that'll be as the 10th place car crosses the line as best as we can. 101 degree track temp, or street temp, however way you want to look at it, with an 81 degree ambient temperature and 6 mile-an-hour winds. As you might be able to hear, I am battling a little bit of a cold or whatever it is I've got going on, so if you hear some silence, I do apologize. We're going to do our best to work through this, though, and get this race taken care of here for ERC NASCAR. This race here at Chicago is the next race in the in-season tournament, so we'll take a look here at the in-season tournament bracket. And in that bracket, we have 4 matchups remaining. One of them is an automatic move on for Nolan McClurg, as he gets an automatic bid into the semifinals. And he will be going up against the winner of the Jose Mercado-Gregory Vadnais matchup at the bottom of the bracket. The upper half of the bracket has Chris Romano versus last race's winner. It was not last week at Talladega in Bryce Fountaine. And the other 2 drivers, Tyler Helsel and Jack Andrews. Which neither of those 2 are here. As of now. Chris Romano and Bryce Fountaine are both here, though. Speaking of Bryce Fountaine, last race winner at Talladega. I had no power, so I wasn't able to take care of a broadcast for that race, unfortunately. But now with an extended holiday break, we'll see if Fountaine can collect some more playoff points here tonight. He's well known as a road racer, and has performed well at this track in the past, so we'll see what he can do here tonight. He does indeed have the fastest lap down there right now with a 1:29.657. Second fastest out there is Mason Tomlinson. He is not in the car right now. He ran a 1:30.206. And then third fastest is Fontaine's bracket matchup in Chris Romano in the number 51. He's also not out on track right now. Here's Mason. Mason's out on track now. Getting some more practice in. Ooh, hard shot to the wall there in turn 4. Oh, noses it in there. Yes, group qualifying here for the road course. I believe it is 10 minutes of qualifying here. Looks like Romano's going to be the first one to take the green flag for their first qualifying lap. Corey Rayner on his first lap here as well. Romano down here through the final corners. And he is the first one to put a lap down, a 1:30.63. It's a pretty good lap. He's going for another one, it looks like. Corey Rayner's lap, not allowed. Troy Burke gets a lap in. Ryan McClurg gets a lap down as well. Nolan's first lap was not counted. Let's see what Higginbotham can do in the number 45. Final corner. Ty Higginbotham. His lap didn't count, but here goes Fountaine. 128.956, sub 129. Heck of a lap for Fountaine. I think he's probably safe if he does not want to try to go for another one. Although Romano now down to a 129.64. In just a moment, we're having technical issues there. We'll be right back. All right, there we go. We're back. Just like that. That's Chris Walsh. We'll see if his lap here counts or not. It does not. Brandon Biddy in the number 2. As Jose Mercado right on his tail as well. Jose and Biddy both getting their laps in. Mercado's lap 5th fastest right now. Ray Hanneman in the 85. He got a lap in, but now having damage to his car has to reset. Fountaine out on track just in case, I think. 30 seconds left. Maybe he's going to go for one more just in case. Mason's on his last lap here. He should get to complete the lap. Oof. Hard shot there for Fountaine. That car is broken. Shouldn't be too much time left here. And now Jose Mercado up to the third spot in qualifying. A 1:30.237 for Jose. Jose is pretty good at road racing as well. He and Fountaine have had some good battles on the road courses in the past. And death. And just like that, Ryan Koch will jump to that third spot. Barely edging out over Mercado with a 1:30.234. 3/1000ths of a second. And then Mason jumping Koch as well. As Tomlinson jumps up to third with a 130.139. Only 2 drivers able to get underneath that 130 limit. And that is the bracket challenge of Fountaine and Romano. This should be the last couple of laps going on here. Looks like the checkered flag is out. Anybody currently on a lap will be able to complete it if they are able to. And here comes Tomlinson. Checkered flag in the air for him. And that lap, not better than the 139 that he had, so he'll remain there in third. Let's see, Nolan McClurg crossing the line there. 130.82 for McClurg. Here comes Ryan McClurg down the front straightaway, crossing the line. And that one was a 132 even. Brandon Biddy crossed the line. That one not faster than the lap he already had. Here comes Justin Lanier. And it looks like that will conclude qualifying. So with that, we'll take a short break here, get ready for the grid, and get these guys rolling for the start of the Grant Park 81. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back here with the starting grid for tonight's race for the Grant Park 81 here from the Chicago Street Course. Joining me up here is our pole sitter, Bryce Fountaine, in the number 17. Hell of a lap for you, a 128.956. The only person, I think, between any of the drivers in qualifying or practice to get underneath that 129-second mark. How you feeling about your chances tonight?
Yeah, I mean, feel pretty good. 38 laps, a lot of things can go right, a lot of things can go wrong. So we're just going to try to kind of maintain that gap a little bit, try to just get into safety, and then just, keep the car out of the wall, all 4 tires on the ground. And yeah, I mean, theoretically we should walk away with it, but, there's a lot of things, like I said, that can go wrong. So just going to run my race, try to avoid any potential chaos that we may or may not have, and try to be there at the end like always.
All right, man. Well, good luck tonight. We're going to run through the starting grid and get these guys rolling.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And that is your pole sitter, Bryce Fountaine. And like we said, we'll run through the remainder of the starting grid. As he does sit on the pole, we have Chris Romano joining him on that front row. That's a bracket challenge here for the in-season tournament as well. Mason Tomlinson will start in that 3rd position with Ryan Koch in the 07 joining him in row 2. Jose Mercado rounding out the top 5 for qualifying, with Ray Hanneman to his outside in that 6th spot. Nolan McClurg starts P7 tonight in the number 6 car, with Ty Higginbotham in P8. Ryan McClurg in the 43 starts 9th tonight. And starting in the top 10 in the 10th spot, Brandon Biddy in the number 2. 11th has Corey Rayner in the 00 and Troy Burke in the 47. And then the last couple of rows, we've got Justin Lanier in the 25, starting 13th, with Gregory Vadnais in the 24 to his outside. And then shotgun on the field tonight, the 83 of Chris Walsh. Wonderful views of Grant Park. And some of the skyline of Chicago as well. As well as Lake Michigan right there as the backdrop. And the field coming down off of turn 6 and into turn 7. This section, one of the tightest sections of the track. Definitely don't want to get caught being too wide. You definitely don't want to be the car to the outside through that section by the statue. But all right, here we go. They're going to take the turn here on turn 12 and onto the front straightaway. In the field waiting for the green flag, and it flies. And we are racing here from Chicago. Turn 1 goes well for Fountaine. A little bit of damage there for Ryan Koch. At the front 3 get to single file and clean air. And they're 3 wide back there. They get that figured out down to 2 wide at the very least. This is tight quarters all around. Koch looking down the inside. He locks it up into the tire barriers there. Looked like a blown motor in there for Vadnais as he hammered the tires down there into turn 4. Fountaine doing a good job of limiting mistakes so far through the first couple of laps. And he's got the fastest lap of the race right now with a 1:30.45. Feel like that's more on par for race pace, trying not to kill the car. And as we talked about killing the car, Romano hitting the hard part of the wall there Mason Tomlinson had to deal with some stuff, as did Mercado. He got into the wall, and that'll allow Ray Hanneman to get by. Not sure on the damage for those cars that hit the wall. Looks like the front of the 51's beat up now. Yeah, and Romano's taking it down pit road. And with Romano having to duck down pit road, that moves Tomlinson up to second now. But Fountaine with a major gap between himself and second place of Tomlinson. 8 seconds the lead right now for the 17. And Hanneman was able to get by Mercado with all of that stuff going on as well. So now Hanneman onto the final step of the podium. Both Tomlinson and Hanneman cooking it into the corner in turn one, and Hanneman will be able to get the better of it, though, as he jumps out down now to second place. And Corey Rayner coming down pit road now as well in the 00. Looks like damage to the left front car of the car there. Mercado and Higginbotham, teammates on GTR, as is Tomlinson in front of them. So that trio, 3, 4, 5 on the running order here. Taking a look at Romano's car. Doesn't look like it's got too much damage. It looks like maybe a little crinkle on the left front. And the right front potentially too. And here comes Fountaine. Down into turn one. And then you look back the long way back down that straightaway to Ray Hanneman, who sits in second. And Romano is back on track right in front of second place. Kosh with some difficulties there. Looks like turn one. that's a hard shot to the right front there for the 6. That might be a bad toe link now for the 6 car. That also gave a big gap there to Ryan Koch, who was right in front. Nolan's going to keep it out on track. Best thing Fountaine can do here is just smooth and steady with that large gap he's got. Back here, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all under a blanket. And a little contact with the outside wall out of turn 6 for Tomlinson. Mercado going to look down the inside here into turn 7. He'll get the job done there. Now too wide. Never mind. They let it. They get it all figured out and all single file down as Higginbotham moves up to 4th and Mercado up to 3rd, and Mason Tomlinson back to the 5th spot. Mercado and Higginbotham still tightly contesting that 3rd place spot, though. Romano leading the lap down cars right now, but Fountaine should be closing in on Justin Lanier as well. Which is something to watch for Romano. And yeah, there goes Fountaine ripping by Lanier with now 3 to go. That'll crinkle up that left side right there a little bit. Two more trips around here for Fountaine. And now Mercado is actually falling back to the 5th spot. And one more lap here for the first stage. Oh, and Hanneman now actually under attack as Higginbotham is caught up. So something happening to Hanneman there on the last lap, as he's lost a lot of time to the car behind. Let's see where Fontaine's at. He's coming through turn 11 right now, which means he's coming up over the bridge and into the final corner. And he will handily win stage number 1. And crossing the line, Hanneman will hold off Higginbotham. And the caution has come out now for the stage 1 break. And they've got a long pace lap here, so we'll grab Fountaine now. We'll grab our Stage 1 winner, Bryce Fountaine, now. He's got a lot of pacing here to do before he can go down pit road. So good first stage for you. A little bit of left front damage there, it looks like, potentially.
Yeah, I had a little coughing fit going through the fountain and kind of just missed my entry there. But it's just a little bit of left front. It hasn't affected the car or anything. So I think we're good. I'm just playing it super safe. I mean, with a gap as large as I had, there's absolutely no need for me to push it. So just trying to stay focused, trying to stay out of the wall, and like I said earlier, and like I feel like I always say, just be there at the end when it matters. And so far, it looks like that's going to happen. But we got about a little bit over halfway to go, so we'll put some fuel in this thing, see what we're going to do with the tire situation, and see what this damage looks like, and hopefully just get it out front again and keep putting down laps and see if we can't take home that checkered flag.
Well, good luck on pit road, and good luck here in the second stage and the last one as well.
Thank you, good sir. I appreciate it.
"13 laps in the books, and he's had the lead in all 13 of them. What a great view of the skyline and the not rendering buildings there on the left-hand side, looks like. Got the pace car coming off turn number 11, which means that everybody's going to be ready to come down pit road and get their service done to their cars. Hard right turn there for pretty much everybody. And Romano staying out. Looks like he's going to try to get a wave around for one of his laps back. Troy Burke with the free pass. And Fountaine able to get off pit road in the lead again, so he'll maintain that ever important spot. Tomlinson, Koch, Mercado all staying down pit road. So that'll allow Chris Walsh up to the 4th spot now. And Brandon Biddy up to 5th as well. Tomlinson and Koch getting out in 6th and 7th, so we'll see how they're able to do here. There goes Romano getting his lap back. All right, pace car going to dive off pit road. The field in the hands of the race leader, Fountaine. And the green flag flies. And we're once again racing in Chicago. Good clean start for the front two. And Walsh gets up to third. Around goes Ryan McClurg as he's going to have to go down pit road now. Fastest lap of the race there, turned by the race leader, a 1:29.76. Chris Walsh dives out of the way and lets Mason Tomlinson by. And once again, that last lap turned the fastest lap for Bryce Fountaine. But he's got some competition now as Higginbotham and Tomlinson both turning sub 130 laps that last time around too. This is a battle for position as well. These guys both 2 laps down. Mercado's last lap was his best of the race with a 1:30.38. As he hits the wall pretty hard there. Looks like he might have damaged the left front wheel. And Romano's back down pit road. Mercado's down pit road too to try to get that fixed. Meanwhile, Fountaine leading the way. Has been from the start. And with 2 to go, or 1.5 to go. And a 5.5 second lead to that second place position of Higginbotham. It's looking like he's going to take stage 2 and get clean sweeps at the Chicago Street Course. Anything can happen here, though. There could be a mistake made. You never know. Smooth and steady is the name of the game. Up over the bridge between 11 and 12. He's coming off of turn 12, and Fountaine sweeping the stages here tonight. This time Higginbotham able to get second. Tomlinson will take third. And then Chris Walsh fourth. Ryan Koch and Ray Hanneman 5th and 6th. And Brandon Biddy 7th with Nolan McClurg, Jose Mercado, and Ryan McClurg running out the top 10. we've already talked to Fountaine, so we'll grab Higginbotham. And we're going to grab Ty Higginbotham here, the second place finisher in stage number 2. You were able to keep Bryce pretty close to you this time around and really compete with him through the beginning portions of stage number 2. How you feeling going into the final stage tonight?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. You know, just staying behind Bryce. Bryce is just crazy at this track, so I'm pretty content with just riding in the second and keeping the car clean. Hoping for a second place finish here at the end of the race. But yeah, I don't think anybody's catching Bryce unless he messes up.
Hey, you never know. I mean, you were sticking with him. You kept him very tight through the first couple of laps, and you know, the mistakes that were made in the first stage for a few of the drivers, you didn't make those mistakes, so you were able to keep him a lot closer. Do you think you have anything at all for him unless he makes a mistake, or is that the only way you think you got a chance at winning?
To be honest with you, I really do think that's the only chance I got. I felt like I was even slightly pushing, and he was just kind of relaxing. And once we hit those lap cars, he just took off. So I really think that's my only shot here. But, you know, we'll see.
All right, Ty. Well, we'll get you back with your team. Good luck in this pit stop, and hopefully we'll talk to you here at the end.
All right. See ya.
We'll see what everybody can do down pit road. Nolan McClure getting the free pass. And off pit road, Fountaine gets there first, followed by Higginbotham, Tomlinson, Walsh, and Ryan Koch. Jose Mercado, Ryan McClurg, and Chris Romano all staying out here. And they will take a wave around. And Ray Hanneman just catching up to the pack. He stayed on pit road a little bit longer and got more service done to the car. And you see there in the background the field crossing over the bridge between turn 7 and 8. Keep an eye on the track map as the wave arounds will just about get to the back of the field. They'll be just shy of it. As the pace car turns off down pit road, Fountaine has control. And away we go. 9 to go here from Chicago. Lock up from Biddy. Looks like they all get it figured out. Hanneman looking to challenge Tomlinson for that third spot. Second, third, and fourth all pushing very hard. As Fountaine pulls away once again in the race lead. Higginbotham starting to pull away from the cars behind him as well. Leaving a tight battle for third, fourth, and fifth. As I say that, Ryan Koch backing off a little bit. Oh, that was close there for Tomlinson. Four to go for Bryce Fountaine as he continues to lead. The gap to P2 now at 3.5 seconds. And a new fast lap of the race that last time by for Fountaine as well, a 128.69. So he is pressing. And pushing this car to its absolute limit. Two to go for Fountaine. Oh, Ryan Koch has to take it down Pear Road. And white flag flies with Fountaine taking it in the lead once again. 4.2 seconds to the second place car of Higginbotham. And closing in on Higginbotham is Tomlinson. Through turn 11 for the final time. And out of turn 12, down the front straightaway. Number 17 of Bryce Fountaine goes back-to-back. Higginbotham able to hold off Mason Tomlinson for second. And there's Hanneman coming across the line in fourth. Running out the top five, Chris Walsh. All right. And while we let that rewind a little bit, we'll take a look at the finishing results here from the Grant Park 81. Bryce Fountaine gets the win in the number 17 with Ty Higginbotham in P2. Mason Tomlinson gets it home in third and rounding out the podium. Then Ray Hanneman in fourth in the number 85, followed by Chris Walsh rounding out the top 5. Ryan McClurg in the 43 finishes in 6th tonight. Jose Mercado in 7th. Brandon Biddy finishes 8th with Ryan Koch in 9th. And then Chris Romano rounding out the top 10. Justin Lanier in 11th. Nolan McClurg 12th. Corey Rayner 13th. Troy Burke 14th. And Gregory Vadney in the 15th position. All right. Well, we'll start it off with our third place finisher here tonight, Mason Tomlinson in the number 4. Mason, how you feeling after a podium finish here in Chicago?
Pretty good. I mean, that's all. I think I told you guys when I won at Charlotte that that's all I can ask for here is top 5. And I had some consistency issues tonight, or a couple scares of people in front of me, and I don't know. Me and Ty were pretty even. There was times where I thought I was a second place car. I couldn't have won the race if straight up. I would have needed 100 more laps to get something down. But I was second stage and stuff. I was like, oh, I can take second if I just stay consistent. But that never happens, So I think I was lucky. I think I had some damage at the end trying to chase down Ty, smacked the wall pretty hard. So I'm happy with it. I gave up a top 3 in stage 1 though because I hit the wall really hard and that kind of sucked. But still a good points day and everything. That's oddly enough one of my favorite, probably my best road course somehow. I don't know why. It's probably the hardest one. But I just kind of get it. So.
Well, you've always, every time I've watched you, you always seem to make it work on the difficult tracks. Darlington is one of your better tracks. You got to win at Charlotte, which is a pretty standard track. But you're saying this is one of your favorite tracks as far as road courses are concerned. So I think you just like those difficult tracks.
Yeah, I like Watkins Glen too. That's a pretty basic road course. So if you just make sure your braking points are right and. But like Sonoma and Coda and all that, I struggle for some reason. And the Roval. Are we racing at the Roval in the playoffs?
Let's take a look because I don't remember.
I hope
not. Nope. We've only got the only road course on there is Watkins Glen in the round of 12.
Perfect. So I'm kind of looking forward to Worldwide Technology. I've never raced there before. I don't even think I own the track, but it's like a newer, flatter Darlington kind of. So I think with some practice I should do all right.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you how you felt about it, but yeah, I mean it's the start of the playoffs in the round of 16. So with that win, obviously you're locked in. What do you think your chances between Gateway and Richmond of moving on to the round of 12
are? Pretty good as long as I don't get in a wreck. Gateway is obviously a new track to me though, so we'll just have to see. I might suck there, but from what I've been watching and videos and stuff, it's a lot like Darlington, just newer. Richmond I'm pretty good at. I like Martinsville and Richmond and stuff if I can get in a rhythm and stay out of the chaos. And there's a lot of good tracks in the playoffs, Pocono and Vegas and everything. I think if I can stay up front, I've got a good shot. So.
All right, well, Congrats on the podium finish here, Mason. Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys for showing up and putting all this on. I know it's a lot, and the guys that decided to show up tonight. I know attendance is low at road courses, and everyone trying to race clean. I might have to miss next week, possibly. I hope not, but they said if our baby doesn't come in the middle of the week, we have to go in Friday morning. So that's a great thing and a bad thing for racing, though. But
Yeah.
we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully, maybe a couple days in advance it comes out. So.
Well, all we can hope for is happy, healthy baby, Mason. Well, and hopefully everything comes out well for you guys, and we'll be able to catch you next week.
Thank you, man. I got a question real quick. If I do miss next week, does that eliminate me automatically?
I don't think so. You can ask.
I know some leagues do that. If you miss the playoff race, so.
I don't know. We'll have to check with Bryce. But
Okay.
All right, man. We'll catch you later.
Alrighty, take it easy.
Next up, we're going to grab our second place finisher here in Ty Higginbotham. We kind of talked a little bit at the second stage end there, and you said you felt like you could not be able to get the win, and were able to hold off for second, hopefully. And well, you did just that, Ty. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I knew it was all about just holding on to second there in the final stage. I knew Mason was fast and Raymond. I honestly felt like they were faster than I was most of the race, but was able to hold off my teammate and get a solid second place finish tonight.
That's impressive. That's a very good thing. I mean, this track is not very forgiving. If you get the wall, it really will damage the car. Broken toe links and bad aero. It's really easy to get into trouble. What were your hardest parts of this track, do you feel like?
Yeah, in practice, I found that out very quickly. All it does is take a pretty light tap to tear your toe link off. But the toughest part for me, to be honest, I don't really know the names of the turns and all that, but it's when you come out of turn 2 going into turn 3. There's a lot of bumps right there as you go into that right-hander, and it's kind of a right-hander where you can't really hit the gas. You kind of have to let it coast, and there's a bunch of different spots where you can turn in too soon or even hit the gas too soon and hit the outside wall coming out of the exit, and then going down onto that long straightaway there. That was the hardest part for me. That's where I lost a lot of my ground to pretty much everybody. So at the end of the day, I just decided to just take it careful through there, not lose control of the car, and try to gain in other places. I felt like I was pretty fast through the carousel there, that left-hander into the RB's right-handers in the last turn. That's where I gained most of my time. So, but yeah, that other end was probably the toughest part for me.
That is one of the harder parts because it's a high-speed area going down into that sweeping right-hand corner. A lot of people had damage. We saw somebody slam the tires going into that turn 4 there and destroy their car early on. So definitely one of the harder parts of the track. So, and then obviously with this being the final race of the regular season, I don't remember where you were in the points, but I thought you were near the top of them. So I think you're into the playoffs. How are you feeling going into the playoffs at Gateway next week?
To be honest, I think I've ran one race at Gateway here on iRacing, so and it's been a while. I think I was 13th coming in. I missed a few races just due to other things, but I'm kind of in the middle about Gateway. I'm just going to try to keep the car clean and maybe other people get into trouble. But there's 16 of us, so a lot of the times there's one or two drivers that get in trouble at least some point in the round of 16, even in real life NASCAR. So hoping I just can keep it clean at Gateway, and I think the next race is Pocono, if I'm not mistaken.
Richmond is the other
one. Richmond. I feel good about Richmond. I like short tracks, so if I can just get past Gateway, I'll be pretty happy.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, Ty, anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, give a shout out to GTR Motorsports, my teammates. We had a solid race tonight. Jose, the leader of the group, he comes in and out pretty much every week, and those guys have been good friends, good buddies for a good bit too. So I just wanted to give them a shout out and for having me on the team and racing every week. So, but yeah.
All right, Ty. Well, congrats on the top 2 here tonight. We'll catch you next week at Gateway.
All right, thanks, man. I just want to give a shout out to you two as well for the broadcasting and Bryce for the league and everything. Right. You guys do a really good job.
Oh, we appreciate that as well. Thank you, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, we do have our race winner here, the number 17 of Bryce Fountaine. I don't think you didn't lead a lap. I think you led every one of them tonight. How you feeling after the win?
I feel pretty good, man. As far as the race is concerned, I'm drenched in sweat and still sick, but apart from that, it was fun. Ty kept me honest there at the end, so if I made a mistake, he was definitely there to capitalize. But we were just trying to find the balance of, pushing the pace a little bit while still, being comfortable. And luckily, we were able to manage that and come out with the win. So 2 in a row feels pretty good.
I say back-to-back, you did win the last race at Talladega as well, and a lot of momentum going into the playoffs now. How important is that momentum as you enter the round of 16?
Yeah, it's definitely important. Anytime that you can get positive momentum is a plus. So no complaints there at all. We'll definitely try to keep carrying this. I know we've got some interesting tracks coming up here on the schedule, Gateway and Pocono, some of the short tracks, and another road course. So definitely some variety left in the playoffs, and hopefully we can just try to do what we did tonight and capitalize, even if that doesn't mean we walk away with the win. As long as we can just capitalize on the points, we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, and you did mention Gateway. How you feeling about Gateway next week?
Yeah, I think I've raced there like twice, but never in the next gen car, if I remember correctly. So we'll get a little bit of practice in between now and then. Just kind of depending on how we're feeling. So I feel good though. I feel like I've done pretty decent as far as being able to adapt to the different tracks and the different scenarios. So feeling pretty good. Like you said, positive momentum, 2 in a row. We got a lot of good things going for us, but as long as we can just be in the top 5, I think that'll be enough for now to get us moving on throughout these next rounds. And then of course, as we come closer to the end of things, the competition will get a little bit tighter, but for right now, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you're sick. I'm sick. Let's get this wrapped up nice and tight real quick. Let's get to the shout-outs. Who you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, man, got to give a huge shout out to you, of course. Like you said, you're sick, I'm sick, so we can definitely relate to each other. I think you, I don't know, you may have had the harder job tonight. I just had to turn left and right, and you kind of had to talk. So that I think you had the harder job tonight. But shout out to you, of course, as always, for hopping on and broadcasting and stepping up, not just here but everywhere else as well. I definitely appreciate having you on board. Shout out to Ray and Tash as well for all their help keeping things running smooth. There's not as many people to manage anymore coming down to the wire, but anytime that I need them, they're around. And we've got to keep working together to make this thing work until the end. So give a huge shout out to them. Of course, give a huge shout out to other guys over at Precision Speed Solutions, JZM Custom Tile Works, Splash and Go Graphics, and then of course Pay RVA as well for hopping on the car with us over there at PSS. We got a smoking hot setup here at Homestead. If you're looking for any open setups, Precision Speed is the place to be. And then, of course, the most important shout out of all, my beautiful, lovely wife for allowing me the time to do this. And my baby boy, he's sick too, so I blame him for the predicament I'm in. But number 17's on the side of the car because he's the reason I do it now. So that I think that pretty much sums it up.
All right, Bryce. Well, we'll let you go. Everybody get feeling better. Hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully our interview will be a lot more clear that time around and a lot less stuffy.
And a lot less coughing. Absolutely.
Yeah, that too.
All right, Bryce. Congrats on the win, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
And that's going to do it here for us at ERC NASCAR. We appreciate you all for stopping by and taking a look at what we had to offer here. The regular season's over. On to the playoffs, and with that, 16 drivers have a chance at a championship, and they will all try to tackle Gateway in a week's time, followed by Richmond before the next cutoff to the round of 12. And Watkins Glen and Pocono in that round before another cutoff to 8 with Vegas and Martinsville. Those two tracks in the round of 8 before our championship race at Homestead. So for everybody here at Eternal Racing Championship, we appreciate you for stopping by once again. And we'll catch you next week at Gateway. Have a great night.